Clearly, this level of societal complexity cannot be sustained without fossil fuels. So it's just a question of how far down the staircase of complexity we will have to go before we can arrive at a place that is sustainable. If the collapse is managed properly, then I think we won't have to go as far down the staircase probably as we would go if we don't manage the collapse very well.
What is managing the collapse? What might that look like? What could we wish?
Well, I mean, thinking ahead, realizing that we can't sustain this level of complexity without fossil fuels, and therefore planning for a deliberate process of simplification. Relocalizing our economies, basically, is what it comes down to. Growing more of our own food, building more renewable energy infrastructure, all the things that we're familiar with and talk about all the time. Basically, those are parts of a big strategy for dealing with this problem.
I think that there are folks that believe that we're going to have this sort of crunch, and when the fossil fuels prices hit well, and the decline is there, and that we'll sort of have some bumpy times in here, and that we'll have 5, 10, whatever, 20 years down the road, other energy sources that take its place. Mm-hmm. What's your thought on that?
Well, it's problematic because 10 or 20 years from now, we're going to have a lot less energy to work with from fossil fuels. We're looking at not only oil production peak, but likely by that time, certainly regional gas declines, and regional and global oil production, or coal production peaking and beginning of decline. So with less energy available, we'll be able to carry out less economic activity. So we'll be wanting what economic activity can still happen to support all of the expectations and needs of a growing population, and we won't have much investment capital or spare effort to put into building a whole new infrastructure of public transportation and millions of solar panels and wind turbines and so on, which will cost trillions of dollars. If we're going to do that kind of heavy lifting and heavy investment, we have to do it while we have a bit extra. Yeah.
Which means now.
Basically 30 years ago is when we should have started. We don't have that luxury, so yes, now. I mean, we haven't a moment to waste.
And I don't see anybody jumping on this.
Yeah, no.
So we may get further down the steps than we want to.
Right. We have missed most of the best opportunities to manage the collapse.